Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
All right, party people, the recording is in progress. This is Friday night, Gridiron Grinder time. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, my buddy James. Just a couple of dudes being super cool, hanging out, talking about the NFL, whatever. How's it going tonight, James?
It's going all right. How's it going with you?
Oh, super amazing, my man. Super amazing. So, for tonight, as we've discussed, we're just going to do a little critique on another article. You found a good one on ESPN.com ranking wide receiver, tight end, running back groups for 2026, best and worst by Bill Barnwell. And so we're going to go through it, and we're going to start from the worst, so 32, and we're going to go all the way down to 1. And I think what we were talking about, James, is we're going to kind of like put these into like thirds. I know that's not perfectly even, but we're going to say, should this team be in the bottom third, and should they be at like the bottom of the bottom third, if that makes sense, and so on and so forth. Because I think as we go through it, we're going to kind of be like, man, I don't know, they totally messed this up or whatever. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, so why don't you kick us off at 32, man?
All right. So 32, no surprise to anybody, is the Miami Dolphins. They got rid of anybody that knew how to play the game of football. Period.
I mean, I don't know if I would say no surprise because they still got Devon Achane, however you say his name, right? Like, he's a phenomenal running back, man. Achane. But it's like I get it that you have a wild card at quarterback and you got rid of your top two wide receivers. So I can see why they're in the bottom third and near the bottom third. I don't know, dude. I got to believe there's a team that's shittier than them just for the fact that they have a top tier running back.
Yeah, I guess I forgot about Achane when I thought about it. Like, I just know they got rid of Waddle. They don't have Tyreek Hill. They don't have. I mean, who do they even have tight end and wide receiver?
I mean, I would just say this, like, and I'm not trying to say, oh, hey, I'm wrong or I'm right or whatever, but let's just quickly compare them to Tennessee. Okay, so Tennessee's got Cam Ward. I don't know that Cam Ward's any better than Malik Willis. I really don't.
Well, see, quarterback's not. No. Quarterback's not listed.
Wide
receiver, tight end, running back.
No. What I'm saying is, like, to enhance the value of the wide receivers and tight ends, right? I don't know that you have like some game-changing guy that's going to make their wide receivers that much better. And then when you look at the wide receivers and running backs in Tennessee, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, they got Calvin Ridley, and they drafted a high-end rookie, and they brought in Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, Achane is a phenomenal running back. But, yeah, I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I completely forgot about Achane. I assumed they got rid of everybody and didn't think of Achane. I can see, do they belong at number 32? I can see arguments for other teams, like you said, like you pulled up Tennessee.
I think they're at the bottom of the bottom tier. I'm just not sure they're at 32.
Yeah.
They're like 30, 31, or 32. They're there. I'm just trying to like maybe give them like a ounce of credit because of Achane, man.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I completely had forgotten about Achane. Outside of Achane, they have nobody.
All right, what about the Giants at 31? I got a big bone to pick with this one.
I do too. I think Neighbors and Scadaboo, while Neighbors is up in the air a little bit right now, assuming Neighbors is playing, but Scadaboo, again, Like those two right there should put them higher. Not 31, not 30, probably 18 to
Yeah.
17 to 18,
It,
17 to 20 range.
yeah, if I'm being honest, I think they should be near the back end of the middle tier, not at the bottom of the bottom tier. I
Yeah.
think and I think if Neighbors is not right, that's a problem, right? But I mean, Scadaboo, they brought in Isaiah Likely. I mean, Jackson Dart at quarterback is only rising, right? Which should it's like uh, the tide, right? Whatever, all boats rise with the tide, or whatever the saying is. It's like, man, I think the Giants are on the way up, man. And so
Mm-hmm.
to put them at 31 is this is a major slap in the face, in my opinion, dude. I think they could easily be at the end of the second tier.
Right. But I think if you take out Neighbors,
Yeah,
I
it
think that
shakes it
kind
up
of
quite a bit.
it shakes it up. I forget who their tight end is too.
Well, they brought in Isaiah Likely from Baltimore.
Okay, so no, that puts them
I
puts them
still think
higher
they're
right
close to
there.
the end of the
Just
second
with
tier. Yeah.
just with Scadaboo and Likely, I think that puts them way higher
And they're going to be a run first
than.
team this year. I don't know,
Mhm.
man. I want to give them more credit. Now 30 with the Browns. This is one where I worry about quarterback because I do believe in Quinshawn Judkins being a legit running back. And I think Harold Fannin was a phenomenal tight end as a rookie last year. They have options at wide receiver, but can their quarterback get them to play at that level? And so I kind of feel like Cleveland belongs in the bottom tier. I'm
Mhm.
just not sure that they belong at the bottom of the bottom tier like this.
And again, they have somebody who I think is going to be a stud running back in the league.
Yeah.
Yes, he's coming back from injury, but son back Casey Concepcion should translate good into the NFL. And they have Harold Fannin, who had a great season. This is because of the quarterback. I think you kind of got to discount their ability a little bit,
So you got to
but
keep them in that third tier.
you got to keep them in the third tier. But it feels really low.
Yeah, it feels like they could maybe scratch like the high end of the bottom tier, where maybe they could get close to that second tier
Mm-hmm.
if things fall in their favor. I think that's I feel optimistic about Cleveland in that kind of way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, Buffalo, man, this is a tough one because to me, I know that they're lacking receiver options, right? But they
Mm-hmm.
have two solid tight ends and they got fucking James Cook at running back. Like, how could you not at least have them in that middle tier, man?
So I go I'd go a little further with this. Like this is the
Do you
flip
think they could
of
scratch the
Cleveland.
first tier?
I think they should be high middle tier, low first tier. It depends
Okay, so yeah,
on where
way
you go.
off. Yeah,
With
way off.
with how and especially with Josh Allen, the flip of Cleveland, Josh Allen. Josh Allen has success at quarterback passing the ball and makes all his receivers look phenomenal. Add in James Cook, they have
Yeah,
phenomenal. They
I
have
mean, I
good.
guess I guess that's I guess that's where I looked at it as like so much of that production comes from Josh Allen, right? Like he's going to get you 700 plus yards on the ground, and but these guys are still contributing, and that is the ultimate story of like the rising tide raises all boats or whatever, right? And so
Mhm.
you got to give these guys credit, but I do think their wide receivers are maybe bottom tier, but their tight ends and their running back are way higher. Their running back is near top tier, and their tight ends are for sure middle tier, right?
Mhm.
All right, Carolina, man. What do you think about these guys? This is, I think, maybe a tricky one to grade.
I think this feels about right for Carolina. Yeah, Teddy Orr McMillan had a
They came
great
off a
season
great
last year.
year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but is it going to,
Can
now
they
that he's
repeat
not a
it?
surprise? Can
Yeah.
they repeat it? They have Chuba Hubbard. I like Chuba Hubbard, and there, I like Chuba Hubbard, but is he a top tier running back? I don't know. Questions again at quarterback. I know quarterback's not in it, but I can't help but think of the quarterback, and you could have fucking Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss, and T.O. as your wide receivers. It doesn't mean shit if your quarterback can't get them the ball.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to look up real quick, and I'm having a hard time finding it, is how much does their strength of schedule change from last year to this year? Because it just seemed like, honestly, I do believe they played hard football last year and they played well. I'm just worried, can they replicate that, or was the schedule in their favor? Because, maybe this is one of those teams where they just don't get enough like media time. And we know, going back a few years with their owner and everything, like I just would like totally puke on them because they were a very poorly run organization with their new owner. But I think that their coach and their GM are putting together a team that maybe could be getting there, that just hasn't gotten all the respect yet. Um,
So last year, Carolina had the fifth easiest schedule,
yeah. See, now
and
I'm
this
not.
year they
Now I'm
this
worried.
year
Yeah,
this year they have the 10th hardest.
yeah. Then I'm with you. They got to be in the bottom tier. They got to be in the bottom tier. I was just trying to play devil's advocate and look for a reason to maybe say, could there be something there?
Yeah.
All right, now Washington at 27, man. This one kind of grinds my gears, but what do you think? It grinds my gears because I think Washington last year really shot themselves in the foot. And it was a lot of coaching things that shot themselves in
Mhm.
the foot. When I look at, you got Terry McLaurin, and then I'm not really sure what else you got. And then at running back, you know, I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of question marks on this team. And so I do think they belong in the bottom third. I'm not sure they belong this far into the bottom third. Well, I guess at this point you're kind of like the middle or whatever, the bottom third. So I'm probably okay with this, to be honest.
So I'm I think
You,
I'm okay with this.
you have a no name running back that outperformed. You
But
lost your starting.
they also have Rashad White though.
Okay, but he's expected to be in a committee, and
Yeah.
he's never been a workhorse. At tight end, you kind of got, you know like a lackluster tight end situation, and you have Terry McLaurin and nobody else. And
Hmm.
how much do you really believe in Terry McLaurin when you brought in Debo Samuel last year and it
So
didn't really even move the needle, man?
so I think the reason they brought in Debo Samuel last year was because of the fact that they had concerns on if McLaurin would be there.
Sure.
But
Which all of this supports them being in the bottom third.
yeah, no, it does. Like I'm not saying they should be higher. I'm looking at it and like I think maybe like if I was arguing maybe like a rank or two
Yeah.
too low, but nothing that I could say like, oh, this is just wrong.
Yeah. All right. Now here I think is maybe one of the trickier ones is the Vegas Raiders, man. I mean, I think it's like Brock Bowers is obviously one of the top tight ends when he's healthy. Genty had a very disappointing rookie
But
year.
he had a very disappointing year behind a terrible offensive line, and
Correct.
they've
But
improved the offensive line.
until we see it, until we see that they correct it, I don't know that
True.
it's and and I only say that because of what's his face from Alabama that was also a Raider, Trent Richardson. Man, it's like, oh, like I don't think Genty's the next Trent Richardson, but like I think we need to see it, right? And it's in at wide receiver, I think there's a lot to be desired, right? And so I
Yeah,
for
Ashton
sure.
Genty's. You said Alabama. You said from other guy from Alabama.
Oh
Ashton
yeah, no, no,
Genty's
no.
not from
I
Alabama.
was thinking no. I was thinking of the guy from Alabama, Trent Richardson. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
and
Genty didn't go to
the
Alabama.
thing with
Yeah.
Genty, and we talked about it going into that draft, is he did what he did against subpar college teams. He didn't do it against the best of the best, like
I
a
think
player like
I think he has the ceiling. It's just a matter of, because the rookie year was so bad, we need to see the offensive line and everything come together before I'm going to say up he's like a top tier guy. And without him being a top tier guy, all you have is a top tier tight end on that
mhm.
offense. And so I think the Raiders could be lower on this list.
Yeah. And also that tight end's coming back from a knee injury, which we've seen tight ends come back from leg injuries
Yeah,
and not be the same that first year.
that's true. They could be very slow to rebound. All right, what do you think about the Titans, man? Because this is my other team that, I think could be maybe lower in this bottom tier.
Now I agree with you there. Like even taking out the um, kind of
I
halfway
mean,
decent.
I think they're putting a lot of weight on Cardinal Tate here because you got Tony Pollard who's
Mhm.
serviceable. You got Calvin Ridley who's serviceable. I just don't think you have any real shining star here that's proven yet. And, with the quarterback being like a low tide quarterback, I would just be very cautious. I would have them near the bottom of the bottom tier, man.
I I agree with you. I just like I'm trying to look for that devil's advocate
Yeah,
to
that's what we
argue
got
it
to
the
do.
other way,
That's what we got to do.
and I'm just not because like Tony Pollard was didn't do hasn't done shit in like 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, he's been okay, but their offensive line was not the same last year.
Yeah, but what I'm saying with Tony Pollard is Tony Pollard, even like when he was with Dallas last year, he was with Tennessee. The year before, he was with Dallas. He took on that lead role, and he's not the lead role. He's more of a
No, you're
committee or
right.
change of pace
Yeah,
guy.
he's better. He's better in a pair. He's better in a pair. And yeah, I mean, I'm coming in and out, but hey, I got to get fresh whiskey, James. It's Friday night. All
And then
right, so Houston at
the
24.
I have big issues with them being this low.
I think they got to be in the middle, like the middle of the middle tier.
I I think with on paper the talent they have,
Yeah.
I think they're closer to the bottom of the top tier than you
Okay.
think.
I mean, I
I
think
mean,
Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in the league, my opinion.
they have Dalton Schultz,
He's
who's a
very
good tight end.
serviceable.
They have David Montgomery. They have Tank Dell, who's a serviceable number 3. I think they have solid pieces. I think the issue last year was again their offensive line
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
CJ Stroud. I
Yeah.
think I think closer to where they had them ranked last year at 14, somewhere between 4 and 14, where they were in 24 and 25.
Okay. See, I was going to say just to like be light, we got to put them like maybe near the bottom of the middle tier, but we can't have them in the third tier.
Yeah.
All right, so we agree they need to be higher. We're just not so sure, like where you think maybe better than me, and but I still think good, right?
Yeah.
Denver. I mean,
What
come
the?
on, Denver
Huh.
after trading for Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Why are they at 23? They're bringing in Evan Ingram.
Because 2 and 3 years ago, Waddle missed games.
Oh, okay. I would put them at, well, I guess they're very close to the back end of the second tier. I was going to say I would probably put them at the back end of the second tier. But with
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, I feel like they're pressing the middle of that tier. But you got to have them in 23. I guess they're not that far away. So I don't want to like crush it that bad.
Yeah, they're not that far away. I don't want to crush it that bad. I still think it's a little bit low.
Yeah. All right. So then let's go relatively speaking to Tampa. I could actually kind of see, relatively speaking, where Denver and Tampa kind of should be somewhere by each other, right? Because Tampa's lost Mike Evans, but they've got Abuke, they've got Godwin, they still got Bucky Irvin, who's come out the last couple of years. So I see that talent is like you got guys. You're not top tier. You're definitely not bottom tier. It's just where do you put them in that middle tier? Maybe the back end of that middle tier until we see more of it. I don't know.
See, I think this is just purely reactionary to them losing Evans.
Okay.
I think if it was next year, because they didn't have Evans at all last year, and Godwin still had a good season.
Yeah,
Ibuko
and Abuke
had
was amazing as a rookie. Yeah,
yeah,
I know. I
and
know his
Bucky
second
Irving
half of the year fell off, but how much of that was him falling off, and how much of that was Evans coming in and taking some stuff away from him?
yeah, and they still have Irvin at running back. Yeah, they got rid of Rashad White for
Here's
Gainwell.
what I'll say. In its relatively speaking, if you go down one more, Pittsburgh, I would put Tampa Bay and Denver higher than Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't
I'd
see
put
Pittsburgh's weapons that attractive. Okay, I get it. They traded for Pittman Jr., they got DK Metcalf, you got Jalen Warren, and, like on paper, that all looks good. But in production, that has not played out that way.
like I think Pittsburgh should be the back end of the bottom tier,
Yeah.
not touching the middle tier at all. Metcalf, if it was 3 years ago, maybe I could make an argument, but this doesn't make sense having them so high.
All right, then let me ask you, Kansas City. I think I put Tampa Bay in Denver above Kansas City this year.
I
I
would
know
too.
Kansas City brought in Kenneth Walker the third, but I think
They don't have really have a wide
yeah,
receiver.
I think
They
I
have
think I think Kelsey's fading hard. The
uh-huh.
wide receivers aren't really there until we see it. I maybe put Pittsburgh at the bottom of the middle tier, and then Kansas City, and then I got Tampa Bay and Denver.
Wait. I wouldn't even put Pittsburgh in the middle tier.
You put them in the bottom tier.
I'd put them way at the bottom.
Okay.
Like we're talking 27, 28, 29.
Yeah, I mean, but you got Pittman Jr., DK Metcalf, I don't know. I mean, I don't put him that far down.
Yeah, but I definitely put Kansas City behind Tampa Bay and Denver.
Yeah. And I put Pittsburgh behind them too. Maybe behind all of them. I might put Pittsburgh ahead of Kansas City, to be honest. I don't like Kansas City at all. The only reason Kansas City's a little appealing is because you never know with Mahomes and them, like that whole rising tide thing. But the thing is, Pittsburgh, I think, on pure talent with Pittman Jr., DK Metcalf, Freiermuth, Washington, Jalen Waddle, or Jalen Warren, whatever. It's like You have weapons, but they have a very low tide with Rodgers at quarterback. All right, so then 19, you got the Chargers, which is intriguing because you have a new offensive coordinator. I know we're looking at their weapons, but Omari and Hampton,
So,
Rondé Gadsden,
so I'm not sold
Quentin
on Omari
Johnston, Lad
Hampton.
McConkey.
I'm not sold on Omari Hampton yet. He hasn't shown it. Yeah, he could. He has the potential, but
Yeah.
he hasn't shown it. And their wide
So do
receivers,
you put them below Tampa Bay?
yes,
I might put them like a hair below Tampa Bay, but with like an arrow that says
they have a
I think
lot of
they can
potential,
that I think
but
they can outperform this year, but we need to see it.
yeah.
All right, then Jacksonville.
Again,
I
I
like
put Tampa.
Jacksonville to
I
be
like
honest.
Jacksonville, but I still think I would put Tampa Bay ahead of Jacksonville.
Oh, see, I'm feeling good enough about Jacksonville that I think I put Jacksonville just ahead of Tampa Bay, probably because Tampa Bay lost Mike Evans. If Tampa Bay still had Mike Evans, I might have him back to back in Jacksonville right behind him. But I'm digging Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas, and Parker Washington. I think that is a solid trio. You never know what's going to happen with Travis Hunter. Maybe he still develops, maybe he doesn't. Who knows? But you got the combination of you got Bashul Tootin now as your running back. You got Chris Rodriguez Jr. Mixed in there. Man, I don't know. Something about Jacksonville just has me excited. All right.
See, I'm excited about Jacksonville, but I don't have the confidence that
They're
what.
going to repeat and keep going.
Yeah, like I want to see it for another year before I really. But I just have like I have Tampa Bay like just a hair ahead of Jacksonville, and it's really splitting hairs because
Yeah, fair
because
enough. Because Brian Thomas Jr. did fall down a lot last year. All right, Green Bay, man.
oh,
I think it depends what's going to happen with Josh Jacobs.
yeah,
Obviously, if he gets pulled out of the mix, they probably fall to like the bottom of the middle tier or the top of the bottom tier. And then I
that's
think
like
we
the
also need to see. I think then we also need to see what happens with Tucker Kraft coming off of the injury, right? So
I think they're starting at like the top of the bottom tier. There's
okay,
potential
so you
there.
think they got to drop down a few spots?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've been hearing good things about Matthew Golden. Um, I mean, we know Tucker Kraft can be a top tight end if he's healthy. Obviously, Josh Jacobs can be a top running back if he's healthy. They did lose
Or
Dobbs.
not suspended.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. Not suspended. Yeah, I don't think health is an issue this year, but yeah, yeah. Okay, Baltimore at 16 is a tricky one for me.
Mm-hmm. It
And
is.
it's tricky because I just don't know how many years we can keep like pounding the drum for Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep pounding it every year because I'm a Derrick Henry fan, but you have a different coaching staff, and that to me spoils it this year, which is where I can pull the plug. I was all for it last year with Harbaugh and the year before because I'm like, well, Harbaugh loves running the ball. Now I'm
Yeah.
not so sure. In the offensive line, they lost their center. I'm not so sure. And so if you dropped Henry down to like a mid-tier running back, Mark Andrews, I think, is fading big time, and I have no faith in their wide receivers. I could see them being bottom of the middle tier or even top of the bottom tier. That's how far I would fade Baltimore.
Yeah. So my heart wants to say that this is a low rating for them because of Derrick Henry. But my mind tells me that one of these years we're going to beat that drum for Derrick Henry too much. And he's not going to be there. Last year, his rate fell to 42%, which was just above league average for usage.
Yeah.
So they're pulling it back a little bit with him. He's not being used as much. So that 5.2 yards per carry average isn't as impressive. I think you're right. I think they're looking more at the bottom of the middle tier, top of the
Bottom
tier, not pushing as close to the top tier as they are.
And I don't see Lamar as being a quarterback that raises the boats. I think that, I think Derrick Henry as a runner maybe raises the boats, but not Lamar. And so if we're worried about Henry and his usage, I think that whole thing falls apart real fast this year. 15 Chicago Bears. I'm just going to throw it out there. Hate the Bears, obviously. I do think you can make the argument that they should at least be in the bottom of the top tier.
I agree with you. They have some great talented pieces at skill positions. I don't like them. I don't want to say this, but this feels low for them.
They could easily be at 11, which is the bottom of the top tier.
Easily.
All right, Colts at 14, man. They lost Pittman Jr. Alex Pierce is stepping up. They got Josh Downs. Jonathan Taylor, one of these years, is going to fall off. I think the Colts are too high. I think they got to go down at least to the bottom of the middle tier. Somewhere down there. If not into the bottom tier.
I agree with you. I don't have many arguments. It's the same thing. Like Jonathan Taylor has
they were a great story last year, but come on. Really all you got is an amazing running back. You got some sweet production out of a quarterback that nobody wanted and some no-name wide receivers. But, man, I mean, if they can do it again, I'm fine. Like, I forgot about their tight end. So I would keep them in the middle tier, but near the bottom.
Yeah.
Because I do love their fucking tight end. And their running back is good. It's just that, man, I don't know. What are we getting out of Danny Dimes? Is he going to keep him afloat?
I'm obviously forgetting. Oh, Tyler Warren.
Man. Tyler Warren. He had a Brock Bowers like rookie year, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 13, the Saints. It seems really high, but I guess they're accounting for bringing in ETN and drafting the rookie. You think it's low? You think they could be way higher than this?
I think they could be way higher than this. Their top two receivers quietly with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Show quietly put up 2,000 yards between them. They still have Kamara. They have
You're right. You got Kamara and ETN. Juwan Johnson's actually like always slept on, and he's always been good at tight end. Wow, you didn't even have to say any more than that, and you talked me into this being a team on the rise, man.
I mean, their salary cap, that's another story, but
well, they're figuring that out. That's Sean Payton era, man. It's finally wearing off. All right, Jets at 12. I get it. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Breece Hall. You have some tight ends now. I think their quarterback is a very low tide. I just can't I can't get on board with them being borderline top tier.
I agree with you.
I can be like, hey, you could be top of the bottom tier or bottom of the middle tier, but I can't have you here, man.
Honestly, what I would do with the Jets is I would flip them with the Bears.
I'd be okay with that. I just, it's like Garrett Wilson's good, but you need to see Omar Cooper Jr. really be a solid 2. And then even that, you need to see Kenyon Sadiq be a decent tight end for all this to come together this year, and then I'd be fine at them at 15. It's like how many times have we seen these moves and then they don't actually translate, and we're like, oh yeah, they're still bottom tier, right? And so so I guess I'd feel more comfortable with them at 18, 19 until I see them through week 4. Just my opinion. Just my opinion.
All right, then Seattle. This kind of feels right to me.
I agree, dude. I like where this is at for Seattle. And I do think Seattle needs more weapons, but Seattle has been sneaky efficient with Jackson Smith and Jigba, AJ Barner, and that, the hype train on Jadarian Price is insane, how they're going to pair him with Zach Charbonnet, which basically says, hey, this offense is going to be sneaky efficient again this year.
But
I would like to see them get a solid number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah.
All right, we got a minute 40. You want to hit the Patriots or take a pause?
Let's take a pause. I got to digest this Patriots thing.
All right, we're going down to the final 10, and I'll hit you up in 10, my man.
All right, sounds good.
Patriots. Okay, my man, we're back at 10 with the Patriots. What do you think here? They brought in A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, maybe fortified the offensive line.
So I wanted
Trevion Henderson in year 2. You still got Ramondre Stevenson.
So that's why I wanted to digest it, because
I think it's top tier. I think it's a top tier team.
My instinct goes back to last year and says it's not a top tier group, but they've done a lot to fortify that group. AJ Brown, Romeo Doubs. I think AJ Brown is either
he's either going to make it great or he's going to poison it, right?
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing in Philly. He made it great for a year, and then last year he fucking poisoned it. And so, because I think it's his first year here, he's going to make it great. But if it doesn't go well, watch out, man. Mm-hmm. Watch out. Which takes us to Philly at number 9. I think Philly is on the up without A.J. Brown.
I think so, too. I wanted to kill it, say Philly, oh, no, this is too high. Philly, they still have Saquon.
Goddard had a career year, basically. Year.
I think
Devonta Smith is a 1. He's a bottom tier 1, but he is a 1. And when you look at the supporting cast, I think that this is a team that's without a all-star elite hero, they are all going to be heroes. And I mean, obviously Saquon can be that guy, but his career is really just his first year with Philly is phenomenal, and that's it. But I think that because of that, all of this is going to be, they're the bottom of the top tier. I'm totally comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, mini dude, give me the Vikings. It's
All
hard to
right.
not have them in the top tier, right?
It's hard with Jefferson and Addison. That's
Hawkinson,
it's Hawkinson.
AJ, or Aaron Jones, Aaron Jones. It's hard to not have them in the top
It's
tier.
very hard not exactly.
I think that last year showed that if you don't have a quarterback at least be like middle tide, it falls off fast. But if Kyler Murray stays healthy, this is for sure a top tier group.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dallas at 7, man.
I mean, they have two legitimate number ones at wide receiver right
Dallas
there.
could be top 3.
Yeah, I agree. Javonte Williams. I forget who even their tight end is.
Jake Ferguson, he's been
He's been solid.
top 5 to 10 tight end the last like 3-4 years, man.
Yeah.
Easy enough. This is the one that fucking messes me up. Why is Arizona at 6? Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't proven shit. Okay. You you got James Conner. He's been okay, but when he's hurt, they do nothing. You've
Trey
got
McBride's
Trey
been really
McBride.
good.
Trey McBride is, he's one of the top 2-3 tight ends, but dude, I mean, you can't put them at 6 with a tight end, man. I would have them at the bottom of the middle tier. I would have them like somewhere in there, like 17, 18, 19. Oh, I guess that's like the middle of the middle tier.
Yeah.
I would not have them at 6.
I changed my mind. I would flip them with Chicago.
I would be more comfortable with that. I would be and I would only be more comfortable with that if you're betting on Marvin Harrison Jr. stepping up this year.
I'm not betting on Marvin Harrison Jr. for anything.
All I'm saying is, I think they have like a huge question mark at quarterback, and I know this exercise is not about quarterback, but it factors into, is it going to be a high tide raising these boats or not, man? And so I don't know. Okay, 5, San Francisco.
Feels about right.
I was going to say, it's one of these ones where I'm like, I don't know. You could be like, it's crazy. But at the same time, I was going to say, yeah, it feels about right too. You still got McCaffrey. You still got Kittle. You brought in Mike Evans. You brought in Christian Kirk. You drafted a wide receiver. I mean, like, holy shit. Like, the only thing that stops them from being top 5 is injuries, right? So,
yeah. The question mark there, though, with them is injuries is, what is Kittle going to be coming off the ACL?
Yeah, but did they mitigate that with all the wide receiver help they brought in?
Possibly.
I think they did. I think they gave him a cushion to come back on his time scale. So Atlanta at 4, I can't buy into it.
All right. If you get the Kyle Pitts you had last year, I can buy into it.
Because then what? You got a borderline top tier running back and and tight end.
Yeah, I could get more on board with it I could get more on board with it if you could guarantee me that Kyle Pitts this year was going to be the Kyle Pitts that was last year, not the Kyle Pitts of 2 years ago.
And you know what? I bet you're going to get that with Stefanski as head coach.
I bet you are too.
Yeah, because that's a very tight end friendly offense. And I don't even think you need depth. I guess like what you're saying is this offense is going to run through Bijan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
You have a top tier wide receiver in Drake London. When it's a play action offense run first, he's going to be just fine. And then the tight end's going to have tons of opportunities. damn it, dude, this is a top fucking tier. But is it 4 or is it like 10? I would be more comfortable at like 9 or 10 than 4.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like, you can't argue it, dude. All right, Cincinnati, man. You got 2 badass receivers. Tight end's a little bit dicey, but I mean, these, Gesicki's been good, all right, but you've got Chase Brown, who's been solid at running back.
Mm-hmm.
They're for sure top tier.
They're top tier. 3 feels a little bit high because of the tight end.
Yeah, 3 feels high, but they're maybe 5 to 7-ish.
I could get on board with that.
Rams at 2. I probably put Rams at 1.
Yeah. Nakua.
I mean, you have 2 wide receiver ones, Nakua and Adams. You've got tight ends all day, and then you've got two
top tier running backs.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron Williams is slept on every year. One with the Lions. I mean, I love it, but I can't back it. I mean, I love the Lions. The Lions.
Okay, if Laporta was not coming off of back surgery, I might be able to make an argument for the Lions. But I don't know what Laporta's going to be.
Even then, we're probably talking like what, 5?
No, I think
3?
I think you have high.
I guess I need
tier,
to see the offensive line. I need to see the offensive line.
High top tier receiver, high top tier running back,
high top tier tight end.
High top tier tight end if Laporta's good.
Yeah,
and then your number 2 your number 2 wide receiver, and
they're
just outside the top tier.
They're top 10. Or I mean top 5. They're top 5.
Yeah.
I just think the offensive line could tank them because the offensive line sort of made them like black and white in any given week last year. So
yeah.
All right. That was a fun article to go through, man. I think that was a good one to do.
Yeah,
because there were a few that were like pretty significantly off in our opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought it could go either way. It could be really good and way out because we, to a little inside, a little behind the curtain, we started reading this article as we were going through these tiers.
Yes, this was raw, on the fly.
So I think it could have gone one of 2 ways. It could have been a dud because
show.
we agreed with everything, or we could have actually gotten.
Oh yeah, dude, it would have been boring if we're like, oh yeah, makes sense, all the way through. It would have been like, what the fuck just happened? It would have been the most boring time ever.
And you know what? We probably would have gotten 1,000 views on it too.
For the first time in 2 years, yeah. All right, my man. How about we shut it down and take it offline?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, party people. Peace out.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut hut hike.